my YouTube channel, Baptized Dorcas, where I share my life experiences. I hope you find my stories entertaining, informative, or relatable. First, let's address the elephant in the room, my crease shirt. It's hot, guys. It's such a hot morning. I don't have the energy to iron it. So I'm just going to rock this shirt and hopefully no one notices. Hope no one notices. Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. I didn't sleep, guys. I didn't get enough sleep. So I usually sleep around 10-11 p.m. But yesterday I worked until late. I worked really late. So I only managed to sleep around 1 a.m. this morning. And I usually wake up at 5:20 in the morning to get ready to go to work. But today I have the luxury of starting work late. So I thought, not, I'm going to sleep until 7:30, wake up, take my time, and then take my time, getting ready and then go to work. But 5:20, not 5:20 exactly, 5 a.m. I was up. I couldn't go back to sleep. Those times when you have plans to sleep in late, but you wake up to 10 of your usual alarm, and then you remember something, you think of something, and then that thing keeps you awake. That's what happened to me today, guys. I went down the rabbit hole, and this happened to be a bottomless rabbit hole. So I just kept going and going.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
2.5 hours later, I was still wide awake. I was laying in bed because I was thinking, I'm not going to miss out on this chance to sleep in late. So I was trying hard to force myself to go back to sleep, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I spent 2.5 hours just laying in bed, hoping I'll be able to fall asleep. Eventually, I just woke up. I just woke up at 7:30 like I planned to. Not like wake up from sleep, but I got out of bed around 7:30 as I planned to. And then I thought, I'm going to talk about this. I have to share this so I can get it off my chest. So back in 20-something, I'm not going to say what year it was. But it was during my second year at varsity. I was diagnosed with IBS, the infamous irritable bowel syndrome. So at the time, my stomach was making sounds. Like I didn't have any discomfort or pain, not that I can remember, but like this, my stomach was just making sounds at the most awkward times. So the day I decided I'm going to go and see a doctor about this, I was in church. I'm Catholic. I've mentioned this before. So Catholic church services are very demure, very mindful. I don't know, my colleague told me to stop using the word demure. He said, if you don't stop using that word, ciao. He just said, please stop using the word demure. He has had enough of it. Okay, so we had a moment of silence in church. And then my tummy made the loudest sound it had ever made in that period. So I decided, the following day, I'm going to a doctor. So the Monday I went to the doctor, and then she diagnosed me with irritable bowel syndrome. And she said there's no, cure for it. You cannot get rid of it.
Taking thousands of flu shots. Your mom is sweating a little bit right now.
Here, I have some water.
I actually need probably some water because I'm getting a little dizzy.
You getting a little dizzy?
Yeah.
Hey, can you grab her a cup of water? We're gonna stop while you get that water in you.
Ah, she's dead.
And she said, people react. So she actually said to me, you are stressed. Is there anything that's bothering you? I'm like, me? I'm a happy woman. What would be bothering me? I'm a happy man. So she said, stress is not always because you're sad or you're worried about something. Being happy can actually, your body can react to happiness as stress, like the same way that it reacts to stress. Something new. I never knew anything about that topic. I was young. I'd never been like super stressed to the point that I had to discuss it with an expert. So this was my first time talking to someone about stress and how our body reacts to stress. So she said, yeah, you might be happy and in a really good place, but your body can react to that the same way it reacts to stressful situations. So she said, I just have to manage my happiness, keep it under control, and she didn't say it in so many words, but she just said you should, find what triggers it, like, make notes on what's triggering these symptoms and try to manage that. And she also advised that I eat less spice, because apparently spices also irritate your gut, and then that triggers the IBS. So as much as most people have IBS, they don't have the symptoms all the time. Just like me, I don't have the symptoms all the time. But there are certain things that trigger the symptoms, like spicy food, like that doctor said, or stress, which is what was happening to me at the time. So I had IBS symptoms this morning. I had IBS, so like I get like discomfort in my tummy. Like when I first got diagnosed with IBS, it was like a really mild symptoms. But over the years, the symptoms have turned into something more inconspicuous. So, it takes time for me to remember that, oh, I actually have IBS, and these are the symptoms of IBS that I'm showing now. So sometimes, like, the symptoms are so, like, the flare-ups are so far apart that sometimes I even forget I have IBS. And when the symptoms flare up, I actually have to fight the urge to look up colon cancer symptoms. Colon cancer signs and symptoms, because it really will be giving there's something seriously wrong with you. You need to get it checked out. And then I remember, oh, it's IBS. It's IBS. I just need to, calm down, exercise, meditate, and try and find a way to relax and maybe manage whatever it is that will be triggering the symptoms at the time. And sometimes I don't even know what's triggering the symptoms. Like last week, I had the worst time. I had a runny tummy. I had like that discomfort in my stomach. And sometimes it feels like I need to evacuate my bowels. And then, but when I go to the loo, nothing comes out. And then I pass gas, and then the symptoms just go away, like the stomach pain just goes away. But like the relief is temporal, like soon after temporary. The relief is temporary. As soon as I think, I'm safe now, the discomfort in the tummy comes back, and then it's the same thing, feels like I need to loo, and then I pass gas, and then it goes away, and then it comes back again. So. And that's why it affects my sleep when I'm getting these IBS symptoms. So this morning, like last week, I had the worst week. And, I was trying to explain to people, like a lot of people IBS symptoms are hard to explain. Like they're really hard to explain. Like the other time I was having it really bad. Usually when I'm about to travel, I get the worst of my IBS symptoms. It gets really bad. So the last time I traveled home, it was so bad. I was in a bad place. I couldn't focus at work, which I really needed to focus it because I was supposed to hand over my duties to someone else. So I was going through the most. So I decided to go to a doctor and talk to her about my symptoms, and hopefully she would give me something to manage the symptoms, because as I said earlier on, there's no cure for IBS from the research that I've done and from the doctors that I've spoken to. So now I'm trying to explain to this doctor the symptoms that I was having, because another symptom, I get this warmth in my stomach that it moves up from my stomach up to my chest, and then when it gets to my chest, it feels like my heartbeat gets faster. I get like a really fast heartbeat. I don't know how to explain this. It's really hard to explain. So, but that was the main symptom I was getting at the time. Besides the fact that I had the runny tummy and, the discomfort in my tummy, like that feeling, a warm feeling from my tummy, and it's not heartburn. It wasn't heartburn. It's not heartburn because I do get these symptoms regularly. So it's like this just warmth that moves from my tummy up to my chest, and then my my heart starts beating fast, and then it goes away. Like, but I have to put in effort for it to go away. So I was trying to explain to this doctor these symptoms, and she just couldn't get it. She really couldn't get it. And I didn't want to tell you that I've been diagnosed with IBS. I learned that way, not to tell the doctor or the nurse what's wrong, like not to tell them what's wrong with me, like not to diagnose myself and say what my diagnosis is to a doctor. Because once upon a time when I was in high school, I have a little bit of a story. I have a story for everything. I do that at work. We'll be talking about something, and then I have a story about what we're discussing. So once upon a time when I was in high school, I had flu-like symptoms. You know, I had a runny nose, I was coughing, I was drowsy. I was getting all these flu-like symptoms. So I went to the local clinic. Like, there was a clinic close to my house. So I went to the local clinic, and the nurse there, her name was Maimunetsi. That lady. So she asked me, "Oh, why are you here today? What's wrong with you?" So I said, "I have flu." People, the lady lectured me. And she even, at the end, she asked me, "Why do you have a boy? Like, why did your parents give you a boy name? Like, ma'am, what does that have to do with anything?" So I said, "I have flu." She asked me, like, "How do you know you have flu?" So I explained my symptoms to her. Then she said, "You know, that's not always flu." Of flu. Now we all know, like, just because you have flu-like symptoms, it doesn't mean it's flu. It could be something else. I know now. But I didn't know then I was a child. So I just thought, I have flu. Give me something for my flu. Oh my God, she lectured me. And she said, "Anyway, it's not called flu. It's called influenza." I was so traumatized because I really wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this from a nurse, because nurses, you know, they're supposed to be gentle and nice, you know, because, you know, they're attending to people who are sick and stressed. So ever since then, I don't tell a doctor what I think is wrong with me. Like, even now when I look up my symptoms first and go to the doctor, I don't say what I think is wrong with me. I just sit there and let the doctor read between the lines as I explain my symptoms. So when I went to this doctor, when I had those IBS symptoms, she really didn't understand what I was saying, and in the end she just recommended that I follow the FODMAP diet. So the FODMAP diet tells you, like, outlines what you need to cut out of your diet and what you need to eat in order to manage IBS symptoms. So I didn't even tell you that I was diagnosed with IBS at one point. Actually, it happened another time with another doctor. So I went to this doctor. I had, like, serious anxiety. I actually have a story time about that time that I think, you know, saying I had anxiety probably is a little bit of an overstatement, because there are people who have anxiety and they get worse symptoms than what I was getting at the time. But I had those, like, that warm feeling, and I was just going through the most. I had a lot going on, and I tried to explain to this doctor what the symptoms that I was having, and not this doctor sending me to his assistant, to his nurse, to do a breast exam, and, like, she was touching my, like, she did the breast exam, like the regular breast exam, but she was taking this, I think it's called a stethoscope, this thing that doctors wear, they put in their ears and then they put against your chest. She was doing all those things, and she was just doing a lot of things that I felt like I wasn't there for. Like, she really did a lot. I knew, like, something wasn't right when she asked me to take off my shirt, and then she just started, like, doing a lot of things that I wasn't there for. No, nothing illegal, nothing too invasive, of course, because I was there for something different. I never asked for a breast exam and all these things that she was doing. And you will not believe it, my medical aid refused to pay for all those things that they did to me, and I had to pay cash for it. So at first I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay for it. I didn't ask them to do all these things to me. They just started doing them to me, and I didn't ask for it. But they started calling me and wanting me, and the bill was going up. So I realized this is getting out of hand. So I decided to pay it. But I was really upset. Because I wasn't there for that. Like, talk about being misunderstood. I'm sorry for that trauma dumping, but I had to like talk about it. Yeah, so the reason I couldn't sleep was like these IBS symptoms. Like now I'm feeling better now that I'm talking about it like this way. Talking about, even though I'm talking to a camera, I feel a lot better now that I'm talking about it, and I hope it helps someone else like who's probably going through the same. You're going to be misunderstood. That's one thing people are not going to understand. Not just misunderstood, but sometimes people don't even know how to help you, because these symptoms, it's not like one size fits all. It's like completely different symptoms. Not completely, but the symptoms differ from one person to the next, and sometimes your own symptoms change. Oh, another way that my stress used to reveal itself to me, like another way that how would I say, like another way that I would be able to tell that something's both like I'm stressed, even though like I wasn't like sometimes we're subconsciously stressed. But another way that my stress used to exhibit itself is through bruxism. Like I would grind my teeth. This started when I was much younger. Like one day, the first person to tell me this was my aunt Siaupa. So I shared a room with her. Yeah, I did share a room with her. I shared a room with Primrose. And then the next morning she told me that I was grinding my teeth. I was so shocked. No one had ever told me this. I think maybe I used to grind my teeth when I was much younger, living with my family, but they never told me. Like they loved me so much, they never thought it necessary to tell me. Or maybe we were all grinding our teeth, so I don't think there's anything there's anything weird about it. There was anything weird about it. But this lady then told me that I was grinding my teeth. I was like, oh my word, what's going on with me? What's wrong with me? But at the time, I had a lot going on. I was applying for a place at Vassar. There was just too much going on. So I didn't really pay much attention to it. And then who else told me that I grind my teeth in my sleep? I think my friend told me that. My friend told me that I grind my teeth in my sleep. But my older sister, like despite sharing a bed with my older sister for years, she never told me that I grind my teeth in my sleep. I think maybe it's because she's a heavy sleeper, or another thing, maybe she didn't want to get my feelings, or she just never noticed. Yeah, but I do grind my teeth when I'm stressed. Like when it's like really extreme stress, I actually wake up with a headache and my teeth get a bit sensitive. That's when I know that I was grinding my teeth the night before. So sometimes I don't even have like any, like I don't have any symptoms to show that I ground my teeth the previous night. But when it's extreme, that's when I get the headache and the sensitive teeth. But my friend said to me, like, she cannot believe I don't realize that I don't, like, that grinding doesn't wake me up. Because she said it's so loud, it sounds like I'm chewing on bones. She said it's so loud. So she said she was so surprised to see me sound asleep and grinding my teeth at the same time. She said it woke her up, so she was surprised that it wasn't waking me up. So yeah, I'm taking, like I've been to therapy, but when I went to therapy, it was for something completely different. I never, like, at the time that I went to therapy, I was going through something that I needed to talk to someone about, but I didn't have like any symptoms that I would have wanted to discuss with the therapist. But yeah, so I never spoke to like a therapist about all these things that I'm now dumping on YouTube. All this trauma dumping that I'm doing on YouTube. I've actually never done it to a therapist, but maybe I should talk to someone about it. Because December actually, like now that I think about it, December I do get a lot of, like I do get a flare, my IBS flares up. And I end up struggling to sleep in December of all months when I should be resting. Okay, enough about this. Bye.